welcome back. I'd like to welcome you to Channel Sports on Sunday. I'd like to welcome you to the football segment. That's what we like to call it, because we get to talk to you strictly on football matters. Today is not going to be anything different, but I'd like to wish you a Happy New Year first. Today we will be taking a critical look at what we expect from football in the year 2015. Some things are going to happen in a few days. Some tournaments will commence in a few weeks, and the Super Eagles will be partaking in the Nations Cup. But the under 17, the under 20, under 23 will play qualifiers. The Falcons will also get to play some tune of games for the World Cup. Also, the local guys, well, permit me to use that word, the guys that play in the MPFL will be getting ready to play at the CAF Champions League, although the league is yet to start. Tonight, this afternoon, what I keep saying tonight, I mean, I wonder why I do. Maybe because of your beauty, I guess that's what it is. I'd like to welcome to the studio. This is the first time I'm going on set with you.
Yeah, definitely.
On this segment, that is. I'd like to welcome you, Sissy.
Thank you. It's a pleasure being here.
Good to be with you. And our regular Arsenal, Masio Diman, sorry. I just say Jimmy Carter. And the next 15-20 minutes thereabout, we'll be telling you what is going on in the world of football. I'd like to welcome you, Sissy.
Thank you.
It's been a good year. It was a good year 2014.
Yeah, definitely.
And we expect to see a good year 2015.
That's what we expect.
No doubt. In the world of football, to Jimmy Carter.
Yeah, has to be.
And I'm going to start with you straight away,
okay.
really. 4 teams are going to play on the continent, talking about the Kano Pillars and Enyimba that will play at the CAF Champions League. Warri Wolves and Dolphin will play at the Confederations Cup as well as the Wafu Cup. Guys, we are not, the league is not in session. We know that we had a good season last season, apart from some skirmishes that we saw towards the end of the season. But a lot of countries on the continent are in session, talking about the likes of Egypt. The league is ongoing. Some other countries have their leagues ongoing as well. We are yet to start. Do you think they're preparing enough to do well this season? Talking about the likes of Kano Pillars and the likes.
Well, ordinarily, I think it's always been a bane. It's always been a bane for continental success when you have teams not playing in season and they have to go on the continent to go, and you expect they actually would perform. We've seen Kano Pillars done, at least do their part when it comes to preseason, trying to get funds so that they go probably to places like Benin Republic, go play matches, go play tournaments, more like fine-tuning their preparations. But I should be honest with myself and tell myself it might just not be good enough for you to have this kind of preparation. I believe that we should be having more of continental games come towards the time. It still has to do with the timing of our league, and that's one of the challenges that we still have at the present moment. Yeah. We still need to be able to fine-tune our league with the continental scheduling. But be that as it may, a lot of people will say maybe Al Ahly had done very well, not being in season, and they were still able to come good. Yeah. I think at this point in time, a team like Kano Pillars, having been able to dominate the league, so to say, for 3 seasons, they might come good this time around with the support that they are having. With our own support, I think if you don't have all these issues of licensing, if you don't have the issues of internal brouhaha that we normally do have, we might have a very, very strong continental representation this season. Okay. And the likes of Warri Wolves, with all the funding that they'll have, Dolphins, with all the necessary support they might be getting, we might be good this season.
Okay. All right. I don't know if you agree with Jimmy Carter right now. Kano Pillars actually, every time they get to play in the tournament, is either they lose at the first round or the preliminary round. So we've not seen them go past. They did it at 2011 at some point in time, and they lost to Atland FC at the semi-final. Yeah. Now, going like you did say, they won, well, not too comfortably, but they won the league, and they look very good. They look like what the representatives of the local league. Going to this year's CAF Champions League, with what Jimmy Carter has said, do you entirely agree with him, or do you expect us to see the same Kano Pillars actually crash out at some stage?
I think I will agree with him, because at first people were saying that because they don't really have that much experience, that by the time they start competing consistently, they'll have that experience they need for them to compete very well. And for the fact that you said something about league not in tune with CAF Confederations Cup, of course, CAF Champions League and all that, that's another thing you have to look at. But for Kano Pillars, I think they'll do better this year, because they had to overhaul their players. They looked at the system and felt there's some players that are really not so useful for them. Just recently, we heard that they sacked about 10 players from their squad. So it seems they're actually building for the CAF Champions League. They wouldn't do that if they're really not ready to compete for the CAF Champions League. But I think Kano Pillars can go better than the first round, the second round exit. Maybe What will actually stop them from reaching the
Semi-final.
final? No, I'm
Okay.
tipping them
They are
to
being
get to the
modest.
final because they're good enough
Good
to
enough.
actually do
They
that.
are good enough. Under Ekoyemodi, I mean, he's conversant with the league, with the Champions
Won the
League.
Champions League before?
Yeah, it's
With
okay.
Eyimba, now I was going to talk about Eyimba. What do you expect from Eyimba FC?
Well, I think Eyimba did very well this season. Forget the fact that they probably lost a few points that could have ended the NPFL, the title itself. But I feel the caliber of the players that they do have, the kind of support they do have, which is massive enough. Going into this season, you might expect that, given the fact that they have the massive support, given the fact that corporate, I actually believe that corporate involvement will come in this time around. I see a lot of corporate, bodies coming in to support the teams on the continental front. I know what I'm saying when I say that.
I know you know what you're saying. Be careful not to do an advert right now.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, those are some of the ingredients that we do need. We have some of these clubs amplifying Nigerian football at the highest level. We had our downs in 2014. We don't want to go there, but now let's support the clubs. Let them get there. Let them be able to represent us fully. Let them represent us just the way we want them to represent us. Eyimba have done very well. They have to be the biggest exports when it comes to African football for us. I mean, club football. Then, given the fact that they have some of the best players in the land, when you look at the home-based Eagles, they are some of the best players that we do have. You imagine what Udo did this season. Most valuable player, scoring goals are plenty, breaking records and all that. Those are some of the things we need to look at. The midfield, it reminds you of those days when they used to dominate the league. Now, what we are talking about is, can they translate this success, what they've been able to achieve this season, the last season? Can they translate the success into a new season and be able to do same on the continental platform? That's exactly what we are looking at.
A few days to go. We only have time to wait and watch and tell and see if these guys will be able to do it. But we expect a lot from them. Talking about Kano Pillars and Eyimba. We're not going to take our eyes off Warri Wolves as well. I mean, we can't ignore Warri Wolves. They have some level of support. I mean, I'm sure at the NFF
appreciable level
of support. I mean, really, because the government actually, we understand, supports them. And also, we know that Amaju Pinnick at some point in time played a massive role with them. I don't know whether they're going to play the same role with Warri Wolves today, but we expect them to actually do well. Dolphin, they are going to be playing on the tournament, on the continent, because of the FA Cup, and we expect them to do well. They have their own issues, no doubt, but that should not take away their shine and participation. Sisi.
Definitely, I don't think it will. But for Dolphins, if you check what happened last season, bonus not being paid, sign-on fees not being paid and all that.
But they got their cars.
They got their cars, but what happens to the money? What happens to it whenever you need it? You get it at that particular time. I think that's really the motivation. The reason Kano Pillars is actually winning the league, year in, year out, 3 times in a row right now, is simply because they got that support. If Dolphins can have that same support, I think they'll do well. By the time the support is not there, it's going to be difficult. And their best man now actually is either going to, I don't know, Norway or Tunisia experience, whatever he's going to, he will not be there for them next season. So that's someone.
One thing is for sure. He's not going to be with them.
Definitely going to be a major factor for them. So we actually need someone right now, 23 goals, someone right now to replicate that, and it's going to be difficult for them because I don't think any player really wants to go to Dolphins right now because of what happened last season.
Jimmy Kato.
Well, my opinion.
No. I'm not asking for your opinion. I'm asking you to go to Dolphin. That was a joke. That was a joke. Having said that, now quickly, we'll talk about what to expect from the age grade tournaments. We have the under 17, the under 20, also the under 23. Our focus will be the under 23. We expect the under 17 to actually go ahead and defend the tournament they did win under Manu Garba, Emmanuel Emenike, as well as Nneka Ogbade. Emmanuel Emenike was retained to head the under 17. We did say it last week. We talked about it last week, but our focus will be on the 20. Manu Garba and Nneka Ogbade. These guys, are decent guys. I like that tacticians, as far as I'm concerned, technically sound. And they will want to actually make a massive impression. First, like you did say, qualify for the World Cup proper. That is by getting to the finals of the AYC and eventually represent us, giving us what the representation at the World Cup proper. What do you expect from Manu Garba and Nneka Ogbade's squad?
Well, I think they've got the qualities. They've got the players. Now, they said most of the players that played at the under 17 level are the same players they're going to use to prosecute the game in Senegal. Now, definitely in Africa, we don't have a problem with that. But we're looking at the world stage. How prepared will Nigeria be? How many friendlies will they be able to play? Maybe after qualifying to play for the tournament. And where will they come? Those are the things you have to factor in to see how they'll be able to win it. Fine, you may have the players at your disposal, but preparations definitely is key. And from what we found out over the years is the fact that, Nigerian Football Federation just hope that always have this thing that we can do it without putting in so much into it. But at on the 17 level, remember what they did? You know, the players were in camp. They had to go on training tour, about 3 different training tours, and that actually helped them. If they can also do that, transfer it to the under 20 level, I think definitely they can, because we have the likes of Isaac Success, of course, the Manchester City man who is with MLS, Iheanacho, and so many Taiwo Awoniyi and all that. We have so many of them, and they've started playing in foreign leagues abroad. So I think they can also bring in that exposure to the team and be able to prepare them to maybe semi-finals or something.